boys across the planet are right now compulsively checking their phones to see the price of Bitcoin, with only a few more percent move needed to the upside to smash through all-time highs and begin a bust so large, so extremely big, it has the potential to create a gaping hole in the fabric of the universe itself. But are the signs there? Is there new evidence showing that in fact it's time for a mega pumpy? Well, let's just say you might not believe it until you see it. Right now the price of Bitcoin is looking pretty good. But what if I told you there are many signs showing us that in fact the price is about to look much better extremely fast? So if you understand the pump is coming big, the pump is also coming fast, but most importantly, the pump is coming extremely big. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, get signed up to FIMX below if you want to buy Bitcoin or altcoins. Without any further ado, let's absolutely dump into these charts where, since posting a video yesterday, Bitcoin has continued a little bit itsy bitsy upside move. But is this truly the beginning? Are we actually going to be seeing this move continue to play out through the week? Is it the beginning of a much larger upside move? Or in fact, will we continue ranging sideways for weeks to come? Well, absolutely, I want to dive into a few things. And if you're wondering, maybe you're clicking on this video for the first time and you're saying, hey, this guy seems kind of bullish. I mean, what's going on? Why is he so bullish? Well, I want to highlight a few things that absolutely underscore and give me even more confidence that Bitcoin's biggest bust has not even begun to bust. So let's take a look at this. So Willy Woo tweeting that Bitcoin price relative to money printing, which is the M2 expansion chart, do you notice anything? Basically, when Bitcoin had its last bull market, let's actually zoom in. Actually, yeah, let's go here. When Bitcoin has its last, when it had its last bull market, the M2 expansion began and Bitcoin quickly followed to the upside. And then when the money supply began contracting, Bitcoin as well was entering dump episode, right? It had a timed well with the dump episode, the bear market. And we've been trending upwards since a few months into 2023 with the M2 money supply, but Bitcoin's price as well has been rising to the upside. And this comment explains it the best. The green line shows the amount of money that was printed between 2019 and 2024. Money printing causes inflation, which is a decrease in the value of money. This naturally led to an increase in the price of Bitcoin relative to USD, which is the blue line. Currently, even though money printing has almost stopped, Bitcoin's price has reached an all-time high, even though theoretically Bitcoin should be lower in price. It indicates a very high sentiment towards Bitcoin. And he says here, my favorite part, moon boots might be in order as we're preparing lunar orbit. I literally don't go a day without wearing my moon boots. Bitcoin also had no business setting new all-time high or new highs in 2021, according to TechDev. M1 soared to record heights, but Bitcoin couldn't set one against it. He's saying that because of the M1 liquidity, COVID panic, he had no doubt we'd be watching a single gentler parabola since 2018. But now that it's broken above its 2M super trend, we're likely in for a blow-off move that it's always signaled. And if we zoom in on this chart really here, you can see that we did not have a blow-off actually, and that was one of the things that a lot of people got caught off guard with in the last bull market. I remember everyone's videos, myself included, talking about this. We've always had these crazy blow-offs. And we didn't have one. We had, if we go to this chart, we had this top, a weird, 6-month period of dumpiness and basically fear, uncertainty. And then we had, which right here, basically, most people were expecting, okay, this is the beginning of a much higher high, a much bigger like blow-off top. But in fact, it began dumpy town. So it was this weird structure. I mean, by the time we had gotten to this point anyway, so much time had already elapsed that in retrospect, most people agreed then like, oh wow, it's kind of too late in the cycle. It should not have taken this long. It was kind of weird. But anyway, the point being here, he's suggesting now that we have the opportunity for a real blow off in this upcoming bull market, which is absolutely ginormous. We also see that momentum continues to be strong for Bitcoin. Anything over 1 on the SOPR, 14-day simple moving average, remains short to midterm bullish, according to On-Chain College. Basically, be patient here. Nothing has changed, regardless of any minor short-term corrections. And if we just zoom in on here, really, again, You want to look for these massive swings in momentum to mark tops. And we absolutely have not even seen, in my opinion, the beginning of them. This right here reminds me of, maybe something similar to this. But absolutely, I think that this chart, I think all of these charts that I'm looking at, I think they're going to look completely bananas in a couple of months, in the next 3 to 6 months. Meaning, I think we're going to go up a lot, and a lot of these charts are going to look insane. And that's, say that happens, those are the moments you want to maybe look to scale out, take profit, live your life a little bit, maybe not stare at the charts 20 hours a day, as many of us have been doing for the past 2, 3, 4 years. But TechDev also saying, it doesn't get much simpler. The entire market is undergoing bullish expansion on a very high time frame. It's only just begun. Again, this illustrates to me, this is another reason, these type of metrics on these long-term charts are basically one of the most massive reasons technically that I'm bullish on this market. In the past, even in the last bull market, when we were topping out, as I had just mentioned, kind of right about here in this zone, myself and a lot of people were ignoring some of these longer term metrics like this because some of them were saying like, hey, we're actually a little too overheated. For example, look at this. Look what the MACD was doing here, okay? If we go back to 2021, this is the quote-unquote top before the actual top, but look at the MACD. By the time we got here, we actually had a massive swing on the weekly chart in the momentum, and it never recovered from that. In fact, we had, we spent months getting dumped on, and then it started to try to swing, but you see it quickly kind of just, continued the trend, the momentum downwards. This trend was very clear. If we even just draw like a line of these two, you can see touching here. So basically, these long-term momentum indicators are things you do not want to ignore. They can be correct. They're often correct when a lot of other things are not correct. And basically, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is telling us we have a lot more to go. This is something you truly do want to be paying attention to. And we also see that according to Plan B, $70,000, this is his, which model is this? I know he has quite a few at this point. Is this one of the ones that has not been invalidated? I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like, well, we can just skip that, but potentially big giga gains incoming. We also see, if we look at Bitcoin, right, on the daily chart, Bollinger Bands, extremely tight, as we talked about yesterday, but they are curving up as of literally today. Actually, that chart's too zoomed in. You can see it here. If we actually start moving above this, then expansion, or these Bollinger Bands will start expanding instead of contracting so much and indicating a further upside move. You see the MACD, our first green tick on the daily chart since turning red, first green tick of the month. We see the RSI as well. Daily chart looks decent. We could be heading for an upside move here. Again, holding on the 21-day moving average looks bullish to me on this chart. Still, we have not hit the full breakout target of this inverse head and shoulders, which started breaking out towards the middle of May. We've been holding the 21-day after getting this bullish cross on the 21-day. It's all, to me, looks extremely good. It looks like the setup on the short term, even the short term, looks really good. The stock market as well, it's something we're watching. It's not looking awful. Green today, I mean, stock market is honestly fairly close also to, it's within 1% of breaking all-time highs, which could happen in a day. So the stock market is something you also want to continue to watch. DXY, I think, is still on a downtrend. I think ultimately, though, I mean, look at this weekly chart for Bitcoin. I don't know. It looks bullish to me. It looks like this could easily, with this being kind of the top right about here, Bitcoin doesn't need that much more to, once it starts actually breaking out of this. Keep in mind, this line also kind of goes back. This is like such a massive line. Right above previous all-time highs is the part of a market you least want to ignore. When we're just above previous all-time highs, and we have this sentiment, which is a lot of indifference, and people are not too excited, and engagement's not great, all this stuff, this is by far probably the last amazing opportunity of this entire bull market left. Absolutely. I firmly believe that. I think this is quite literally the best and last real entry, really good opportunity. You're going to be, if you don't have positions here, if you have not been following the cycle, in my opinion, you're going to be chasing this bull market in a couple of months. And the longer it takes until you start chasing this, chasing the pump, the more likely it is you're going to get banged. The more likely it is you're going to walk away with nothing or less than you started with. You don't want to be chasing, right? And I just personally think this is your last opportunity where you're not technically chasing it yet. If Bitcoin breaks up to $90,000 or $100,000 in the next few weeks, do you know how many people are going to start going into it? Do you know how much sentiment is going to quickly start turning very bullish? Where right now it's very indifferent, right? I like to think of it like, a lot of people are closeted bulls right now, where a lot of people are bullish and don't have any fear of saying it. But overall, I think everyone knows where we stand. I don't need to say I'm bullish every single day for people to understand I'm bullish on Bitcoin, right? Maybe I don't say anything for a week. Maybe I take the week off or whatever. I'm still extremely bullish. You don't have to say it every day. But soon, people will be saying it every day. And more likely than not, the people that are going to be saying it and screaming that they're bullish the most are the people that were not bullish when they should have been this entire time. So yeah, moral of the story, I don't know. I would not want to be chasing this. I hope that if you're interested in this market, I hope you have whatever positions you want already, because when things get crazy, they're going to get crazy. And you don't want to be left diddling with your thumbs, tripping over yourself, trying to figure out what to do. Should I get in? Should I do this? Should I do that? You should have that figured out already. Absolutely, you should have that figured out. Now is the time. It's quickly coming to an end where you have that time left, but yeah, big. And get signed up to FEMX below if you want my Bitcoin or altcoins. And without you for the Magoo, that's it for me.